Hello, so today we're going to talk about ADT dictionaries using two different ways. One of them is separate chaining and the other is quadratic probing. First, I'm going to explain about the separate chaining. Here we have defined our hash table, which is this one is an array of hash table and hash nodes that we're going to call it buckets. This one is the capacity of our table. And here we have define a construction that sets a default capacity to our table. Just set it to 10. And then here we just gonna set the definition of these ones to our capacity, which this helps us if I wanted to change the capacity of my table. And then we have defined the hash nodes, which has a key value and then hash node itself, and then it has the construction that passes two parameters. We have defined it equal to these each other. You have different methods. Size is empty, add. Size is going to return the size of the table is empty. Check whether or not the table is empty, add. That takes a key and value. This one is an internal method. We're going to use it internally, not really get the index of the bucket. And then this one, the get method, takes a parameter key of the dictionary. So it's going to return us the value. This one is remove. Again, it gets a key parameter. Okay, so here we have defined and set up some tests. This is our table. We set the capacity to 10 for now. So before we run it, we're just gonna go through it quickly. Here we have defined a few data to our dictionaries. Here we added 4, so we're gonna expect if we're gonna get the size, it's gonna be 4. And then here the key, we're gonna getting the key of 3, which the value is set and defined to this word cat. Here there is a random key that doesn't exist into our table. It's going to return us null. We should expect null. And here again, a proper key that has exist already in our table. We should be returning ants here, this word. Remove, we're going to remove this key. So this key and value should be removed from the table. And the size should be expected 3 after we just removed one value. And then here we're just going to remove something that probably doesn't exist. Like 44 doesn't exist in our table. The size should stay the same because this one doesn't exist. And here we removed something else. Expected 2, the size would be 1 less. And then here we still have data into our table. So the isEmpty method should return us false because there's something still there. And then we're trying to empty the table, and then the last one just trying if the empty works also properly if there's nothing in the table. Okay, let's go ahead and run it. Alright, as we expect, here we're gonna get 4, here cat, null, ants, 2 times these 3, and then 2 here, and then false. Here the size is 0, and then also the isEmpty method is true here. Okay, let's go ahead and test the hash table using the quadratic probing. So the quadratic probing is a way of open addressing is another way of saying it. These hashing uses quadratic formulas to generate a hash value. So it's not too easy to do it manually and then do all those maths. So the way they do it, it has a few ways of doing it. One is to set the table size to a prime number, or set the table size to the power of 2, and some other ways that they can do it. So what we have here is a method called hash code, that this one basically is used to generate this hash values. When an object is being passed, it just generates this hash value for us. So that makes it easy for us to use this way. I also defined kind of similar methods for testing out this way. So this we have the size method that is empty, contains, add, and get, remove. So we are going ahead. Let's take a look at what we have done for this testing. I added 4 values, keys and values to the table. The contains method should return us true because the key 7 exists on our table. Should be expecting true, and then here the table size should be expected is 4 because we added 4. The key here we're gonna get the key 3, so the word is crab, so it should be returning this word. And then here it's gonna add something that doesn't exist, returning null because it doesn't exist. We go ahead and test the remove one. When we remove a key, it should return us one less, basically of the size of the table. And then here, I think here should be expecting the that it's gonna be false, right? Because the size is 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. Let's see if we're getting these true. Okay, so this is true. Yes, expecting 4. The word crab, no, because it doesn't exist. This word giraffe, 3, 3, and then 2, and then again false. Okay, as we expected, means our functions work properly. Okay, that's for everything. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.